right, I would like to now call the November 11th meeting of the Sustainability Commission to order. Grace, please read the roll.
Alderperson Nelson.
Here.
Commissioner Henry Gillis.
Here.
Commissioner Lawton.
Here.
Commissioner Leonard.
Here.
Commissioner Panic.
Here.
Commissioner Slavin.
Here.
Commissioner Van Schneidel.
Here. Okay. Public comment on matters not on the agenda. Comments made during the public comment period shall pertain only to matters under the jurisdiction of the Sustainability Commission. Nobody. Okay. For the second time, public comment on matters not on the agenda. No? Okay. I have to ask 3 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Third time, public matters. No one here? Okay. So we're going to move on to approval of the October 14th, 2025 Sustainability Commission meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve that?
I'll move to approve.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor of approving the meeting minutes from the October 14th?
So that was motioned by Alderperson Nelson and seconded by Commissioner Lawton.
Oh, don't. That's okay. Can I get an aye if you approve of the minutes from October 14th?
Can I get a hell yeah?
Aye. All opposed? All right, so we approve the meeting minutes from October 14th. Next, we have discussion on composting education with Mary Swifka of Wild Ones.
Hi, Mary. Can I give a little?
Up you're muted,
You're going to
Mary.
need to unmute yourself, Mary. Maybe we'll do it for you. Let's see.
I don't think you can. Unless, can she unmute?
Uh-oh.
Do you see a little microphone near the bottom of your screen, maybe? Can you unclick it? Nope.
Maybe click
Nope,
the mic
can't
to
hear
see
you.
the audio settings, and maybe you can. Maybe that.
Don't want to
No,
make her
that's not
presenter.
What is it?
Mary, is there a little microphone? Is it like red with a line through it? No. Who is like the owner of the meeting?
It would be us.
Like what you're driving right here is?
Yeah, I'm driving.
Okay. Let me Google it.
Don't wanna do that.
My computer says she's unmuted,
Okay.
so I don't know. I tried muting her and unmuting her. So I don't know.
She's showing muted here.
She may have to try to call back in.
Yeah, maybe.
You could maybe leave the meeting and rejoin. Otherwise, we do have a phone number you can call with your cell phone and talk to us that way.
Invite.
Okay. Mary.
If not, we can always push it.
Can I give a little background
Sure.
to the group? So, I got Mary's name from Betty last time that she had presented on composting at Mosquito Hill. So I met with Mary in between the last meeting and now and just talked with her a little bit about what she presented on. She was open to doing sort of like an educational series with us. I have not seen her presentation yet, so I asked her if she could like do a shortened version just to let us see what she had presented at Mosquito Hill, kind of what her presentation is. She has done this like multiple times before, so I think she has kind of her education piece down, and I asked her to give a demo of it.
Thank you, Commissioner Van Schindel. Mary's back. She has a microphone, so there's no mic. Mary, if you can see my screen, I'm highlighting the phone number to call. Maybe this would be the way to get around it. And then there's an access code here you'd have to put in.
If you hover over her name, oh, I guess her audio's not even set up. No, it's not working.
No dice.
Okay. Do we want to see if we were gonna maybe move December's?
Yeah, it would be January. Then would be the next opportunity.
Okay. I'm wondering if Mary maybe. Oh, the code said invalid.
Oh, it must be down.
Oh.
Oh, I wonder if they,
Mary, I'll connect with you after. Maybe I'll connect with you sometime tomorrow, and we can figure out some way around this. Maybe that we can see your presentation before our next meeting in January. Maybe I can record.
Record it, yeah.
Yeah, record something and send it out to the group.
Sure.
Okay.
Just giving it one
Give
more
it one
call
more
to
try.
oh, she's got a phone now.
Oh.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Thanks. I'm a newbie on this platform, so I apologize for the mess here. I'm not quite sure why my mic isn't working. I have the icon that, I can turn off or turn on, and then I get the voice that says, your microphone is on, but apparently you couldn't hear me. And so, sorry about that.
It's okay.
Well, this will work. Yeah, we'll leave the floor is yours now, Mary.
Alrighty, thanks very much. Please feel free to pipe in with any questions or need some clarification. But I have been a longtime member of Wild Ones. It's a national organization with chapters all around the country. And our goal is to help people be more informed and give them resources if they're interested in natural landscaping with native plants, gardening with native plants. And as my role as the program chair for the Fox Valley area chapter, I was always looking for different ideas for public programs for folks. Back up a few years, I retired a few years ago from the Outagamie County Parks Department. I worked at Mosquito Hill Nature Center for 32 years. And during that time, I would offer programs for them as well. And one of the opportunities I had a few years ago was to go through some training with the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources on learning more about composting and how to teach people about composting and encourage them to do more composting. And since, to me, that's just a great go along with native gardening and whatnot. I offered the program for a Wild Ones chapter last spring, and somebody from De Pere happened to sit in on the program, and that's how we made connections with you tonight. The training that I got was pretty comprehensive. It was like a day and a half long, so probably around 12 hours total, and that's more than anybody in the general public would care to learn about. So the programs that I've been doing over the years go anywhere from about an hour to an hour and a half, with some question and answer time, and then also showing the different kinds of composting, compost bins, compost setups that are available. now that I'm retired and but still a Wild Ones member, I'm still real interested in keeping up with all of the programming that I used to do, including teaching people about composting. So when I do my program, I usually have a PowerPoint that's about 45 minutes long, 45 minutes to an hour. It's designed in such a way that I can swap out different slides. So, it could go as long as, a couple hours, but frankly, I think for the general public who's just learning about composting, an hour-long program usually gives them more than enough information to get them started in this avocation. I like to bring some examples of different compost bins along, and I try and tailor, not tailor the information, but to share the information in such a way that people can tailor their compost pile or compost setting to benefit them, what works in their yard the best. I mean, somebody who's got a small urban yard with neighbors right on top of each other, probably isn't going to have a big giant pile like I have in the back of my lot in rural New London. And so there's a lot of flexibility. So if you're an urban homeowner with a small yard, or you're somebody out in the country who's got more space to spread out and make bigger compost piles, there are options available for everybody. Tell me if you have any questions right now.
I don't have any questions yet. Does anybody else?
No.
Okay.
No, we're all good. All good on our
Alrighty. What else would you?
Oh, she froze.
Okay. If there aren't any questions or anything, would you like me to explain a little bit about what's involved with the program?
If you can give us a high-level explanation.
Okay, sure. So, first of all, it helps to give a little bit of science background for folks that might not, understand what composting is, and it's basically we're speeding along an already natural process, the process of decomposition, and we're using a smallish, about a 3 cubic square compost pile that tends to be an ideal size for moving the decomposition process along, adding a little water, talking about the difference between browns and greens. So green materials piled on top of brown materials and then layered kind of lasagna style gives you a combination of materials that are high in carbon, like your dried leaves, small twigs, some brown materials like that, and high nitrogen materials like your grass clippings or food scraps from your kitchen compost heap. Adding those together, keeping it watered, and then some patience will yield compost in the end. And then I'll also share that depending on your personality, you might choose to, if you're interested in kind of putzing with your compost bin every day, every few days, you'll get compost faster than if you're maybe a low and slow composter like I am, where I'll fill up a compost bin. I have a 3-bin system in my home, in my yard, and just let it sit for a year. So there's some flexibility there if you're kind of, I don't feel like I want to mess around with this very often. There is a way that you can create compost and not have to do a whole lot of work regularly. So I'll talk about different kinds of materials, what's appropriate to go in your compost bin. There are things that are not appropriate to go in there. We ask people to avoid meat products, oily products, like cooking oil or high fat materials like lots of cheese. Don't throw your cheese sauce in there. And, there's a little flexibility in there. But really, if your interest is in, keeping your compost healthy, keeping the process moving, then, it makes sense to keep some of those items out of your compost pile. I'll talk a little bit about the different types of compost bins available. There's some commercial bins available. Some are just stationary, sit on the ground. Some of them spin or tumbler systems. Some of them are, come with bacteria starters, which aren't necessary, but, won't hurt your process. I'll talk a little bit about, setting up an indoor compost container, a small countertop container or an under-the-counter container, something like an ice cream pail or some commercial varieties available there, and, how to get into the habit of, making sure that the food scraps that are appropriate to go in your compost bin end up in your compost bucket under your sink as opposed to, going down the drain or going in the garbage container. What else? There are tools and practices that help you deal with the compost either while it's in the process of decomposing completely or once it's done. There are different ways that you can broadcast and different uses for compost. You can filter it if you'd like so that you have a fairly fine, friable product that you can sprinkle on your grass, on your lawn. You can mix it up with potting soil or with garden soil to work into your garden beds. I have a raised garden planter in my yard that I just started using recently that I grow herbs and mint and tomatoes in. And I fill up a wheelbarrow halfway with compost from my pile and then some garden soil that I have in stock in a pile in my backyard, mix it all together, and we're ready to roll. There are also a nice list of do's and don'ts. Don't do this. Let me back up a little bit. I guess the list of don'ts just help to ensure that your compost, the process of decomposition is going along smoothly, that you're not getting any weird, funky smells, which might indicate an imbalance of browns and green material. And, I guess from there, what I usually do is, I should say that those are the main points. But that, I have time for question and answer and give people a chance to get up and take a look at the commercial bins that I bring for display. And then, of course, if there's the programs that I've done have been in places where there are already existing working compost piles available. So, depending on the location of a program, if that's available, then it's really nice to go out and, take a look at these different setups and just see what's going on out there and what finished compost looks like versus, what mine looks like right now with apple cores and, pumpkin guts out there from the fall season. I'll yield the floor back to you folks for any questions or comments.
Thank you so much, Mary. Do you guys have any questions?
I don't have any questions. I think, Mary, thank you so much because that's exactly what I was hoping the group could hear.
Yeah.
And I think we'll take it back. We had some previous discussions about potentially doing an education series, and I think this may be a great fit for that. So I can follow up with you with any additional questions that anybody has after, or what we would be looking at in the future.
All right, super.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
tuning in, Mary.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure. Just, yeah, feel free to contact me anytime with any other questions or concerns.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna do a change of agenda, moving on to the next item. Instead of item 3, we're gonna switch to item 11, discussion on pollinator gardens and plant natural landscapes. 'Cause we have a guest in the audience who's here to speak on that one as well.
Hi, Eben.
We'll help free up his night.
Thank you. That was nice.
But you have so many good topics that I was going to listen to.
Well, you can hang around
I
after.
was thinking. All right, so yes, item 11 now, discussion on initiative prioritization, pollinator gardens and plan natural
Come on, you can do it.
natural landscapes.
Good job.
So I had 2 topics of discussion brought up to me in the last month, both kind of on the same pathway. So first, I will yield the floor to Alderperson Nelson about your Buy for Flyers.
Yeah.
That you worked with Evan with.
Yeah, so this was, I think there's been kind of some discussion or some thoughts about now that No Mow May has passed, kind of how can we make the pier even more attractive to pollinator, or how can we make sure that we're doing our part to make sure pollinators have their full due, hopefully. So I was talking to Eben, and he had an idea of kind of incentivizing or kind of giving, I think, options to people and saying these 5 plants would be a good choice to benefit pollinators, instead of just kind of plant stuff that'll be, it's kind of like, I think people need instruction like that. I think that composting stuff is great. People want to do stuff. It's just, give me some small concrete things I can do to make a difference. So I think it's really, kind of guiding people towards what types of plants will be best for this type of program. So yeah, I think it's, in kind of how to incentivize people to actually plant these and to care for them and to make it even better for pollinators. So I'm probably not doing it very well justice, Eben, but
Oh, I think you're doing great.
okay. And another aspect that we had been talking about too a little bit was kind of mapping out a little bit. I mean, maybe not even better because maybe it's already being done, but maybe kind of mapping out where there are places that are really pro pollinators, so we can kind of, I think if people are contributing to a corridor or contributing to something kind of larger in terms of, if you can have a map and then you can kind of show where a butterfly could fly to, all the way up, I think that would really help kind of incentivize people to get involved in this as well. So I think that's probably kind of maybe a separate, but I think it's all around the same idea. But
Have you seen the map from the Conservation Corps where they're showing the corridor, the pollinator corridor?
I don't think so.
It's pretty cool.
Okay. I think maybe to like contribute to, to kind of like along those same lines,
Yeah.
it's like that's the stuff that I think gets people, more engaged and more like, all right, we can actually make a difference. So I think that's I think there's a lot of different ways we can do this, but I think as long as we're kind of helping people with that thought of how can I actually make a difference in this stuff. So
Anything more from Eben in the audience?
I certainly can expand upon it a little bit if you'd like.
Can't hurt.
yeah.
Do you want me from here?
why don't you
or-
come
Come on up.
You have to give your address and do the whole formal spiel.
All right. I've done it before, so. I'm Eben Earhard. I
we
live
should.
at 407.
We're gonna open it up
Oh, okay.
first to the public. Grace knows the rules. So you'll have to make a.
What do I have to do?
We have to do a motion to open the floor to the
Ooh,
public.
Can I get a motion to open the floor?
I'll
to the
move to
public?
open the meeting.
All right.
I'll second.
All right.
All right. Motion from Alderperson Nelson, second from Commissioner Slavin.
All in
Second.
favor of opening the meeting?
Aye.
Thank you. All opposed, same sign. Okay, the meeting is now open.
Sorry.
That's okay. Eben Earhard, 407 South Michigan Street in De Pere. And I guess this program came to me, sort of evolved over time. The first thing that happened was I heard from Scott Thorson that you guys were dropping No Mow May and I don't want to throw Scott under the bus, but the message I got from him was that in place of that, you were going to encourage or allow people, I think was the words he used, to grow taller blooming plants, which to me was like, okay, that's not very defined. And I don't know that it's, how many steps it took the message to get to him, but I felt like as a homeowner that grows a lot of plants, both native and non-native, or both pollinator and non-pollinator, and I work with a lot of people on a professional level, that people need a little more information than that. And so that sort of sat in the back of my head. And then honestly, I'm involved with the Pollinator Corridor group that encompasses a Green Bay and a number of organizations. And Green Bay Sustainability said, we're getting rid of no-mow and we want something to replace it. And then it sort of resurfaced in my head, and I sort of thought, okay, what is no-mow? One, it's homeowner-based. Two, it really doesn't cost the municipality anything or much. And three, it's easy for the homeowner. It's really easy if you don't have to mow your lawn, so which may be part of the problem. I never was a big proponent of no-mow, but I know that there's arguments either way. So I kind of looked at that. So what I came up was this program. It's homeowner-based, so it's at your yard, and I wanted it to be marketable. So I'm thinking about a name, and you think no-mow, it just rolls off your tongue. It's got alliteration, it's got rhyming in there. So 5 for Flyers came to my head. Flyers sort of encompassing 4 categories, which are bees, butterflies, birds, and hummingbirds. Hummingbirds are birds, but
you could include bats.
you could include bats.
We want to
They
do
would be
5 of them.
flyers, but I don't know that we want to sell this to the public. Not all of the public wants bats. So,
I'm into bats.
Same.
well,
Bat house?
this is a
I'm just giving you a hard time.
good time of year to be talking about bats, right? Yeah. So those were sort of the things I started to look at: marketed, branded, easy to understand, easy to execute. So then I said, okay, if you had a program like that, 5 being the number of plants you're looking for, I was looking for 5 plants that were beneficial regionally, Northeast Wisconsin or North Central United States, however you want to look at it, to provide beneficial for at least 2 of those 4 flyers. So maybe it's birds and bees. I would say that almost all of them are at least 3, but that was sort of the first criteria. The selections I chose are native plants to the area. They're easy to grow, non-aggressive spreaders. One of the things, like when you encourage people to go to Stone Silo Nursery and go buy some native plants, and they walk in there and they don't know anything, and almost all of the native plants, half of the native plants, you'll see later when you do for the sewer, the runoff portion, those seed mixes, there's a lot of what are called weeds. There's Joe Pye weed, there's milkweed, there's butterfly weed. That sounds like really good there. That's finally one that we like. There's ironweed. There's all these things that says weed, and if I go in and I don't know anything about it, and I go, well, why do I want to put weeds in my yard? And honestly, there are some of those plants that weed might be a good term. They're just not really appropriate for home landscaping unless you know what you're doing. A good plant is a cup plant that gets about 6 feet tall. The leaves hold water, and birds come, especially goldfinches, and drink out of that. They love the seeds. There's butterflies and bees all over it, but it also reseeds very profusely. So if you don't know that, all of a sudden you're disappointed. So I wanted to give selections of plants that don't spread aggressively, particularly by the roots, but also overly by seeds, and then come up with a group that is long season blooming, most of our summer, which is one of the complaints with No Mow May is it's great that we help the pollinators in May, but what happens in June, July, August, September, October? So the plants, I think they're on the document there. Butterfly weed, Meadow Blazing Star, which is a good friend of mine that runs a native nursery, calls it crack for monarchs. Echinacea purpurea, which is your purple coneflower, very recognizable. Penstemon is an earlier bloomer and is really good for the hummingbirds and bees. And then probably the best one of them all is Rattlesnake Master. And that's a probably 4 feet tall plant. I think there's about 130 species that utilize rattlesnake master, so that's bees and butterflies and birds and things like that. So that's probably, of the perennials that you could grow here, that's probably the best one. It's kind of a cool plant. It looks like a yucca plant, which if you don't know yucca, it's what they planted on the Broadway side of the Mulva Center that didn't do very well. Well, this one's native to here, but it's got sort of sword-like leaves, and then it stands up a tall stalk with these little round white flowers. So I guess bringing it to you, and there's a lot of different things to do, I felt it was a simple program, but I think that options for De Pere in terms of if you wanted to adopt this program and where you would go with it, one or first would be just publish it as a recommended plant list. So, you know, that's the very first step. You could provide homeowner signing that would sort of explain it, you know, just like No Mow May if we wanted to go that route, or if you wanted to, you know, that's starting to cost money. Publishing it really doesn't cost you anything. Provide plant kits to homeowners. Again, that's a next step up in terms of cost. It's 5 plants, so you could set up a basic kit of 5 plants, or you could set up a kit of 10, which could be 2 of everything, or 1 of certain things and 2 of the more pleasing things, something like that. You could plant a 5 for Flyers garden or gardens in city open spaces. As a part of the beautification committee this year, we planted 1 roundabout as a butterfly habitat. It doesn't quite follow this one exactly, but it's a similar purpose, you know. So you could choose a roundabout, you could find a park or multiple parks and you know, do a thing there that sort of enhanced, probably would go along with a recommended list. And then work with retail suppliers, which is something I would be willing to help out with, to try and get them to not only grow the plants, but maybe incorporate the same type of signage if you were going to do some signage, or ultimately work towards that so that you could say, hey, go to Stone Silo, or go to De Pere Greenhouse, or go to the East De Pere plant sale, East De Pere High School plant sale, or different places. So not only are you publishing a list, but you're giving them sources where they could go get it. And then future from that, you could take, instead of just 5 for Flyers, you could have 5 annuals for Flyers. So going away from the native perennials to zinnias and sunflowers and some of the things that, you know, would be really easy to do and potentially could be a very kid-friendly thing, because a lot of the, you know, your plants that the kids like the most, sunflowers, things like that, are also things bees like the most. So I guess that's kind of where I came up with the program and where I see it sort of as an opportunity for you guys. Certainly any native planting is great, and I think there's, you know, there's hundreds of different programs you could, or ways you could go about it. I just felt like this would be an opportunity to give some direction or some education or something to the citizens without, you know, in one sense, costing the city a whole lot.
Thank you. Any questions for Evan?
I have a comment.
Commissioner
Kind of
Leonard.
for everyone. I love this idea to replace No Mow May. And a few meetings ago, I mentioned an idea to track on a map where people are planting in their own home gardens and kind of create a heat map of different plants. And I think that this idea then really drives well with that idea. And I want to keep in line with discussing some of these initiatives based on our criteria. And I think that doing this and employing that with it makes it trackable and like where our impact is going. So if the beautification committee is planting these, we can be tracking our efforts simultaneously that way. And I was thinking like have just a GIS map on our link as well as the beautification committee that people can go and say, hey, I planted this and that kind of thing.
I really like Google My Maps for stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have to be super fancy.
Yep.
And I mean, we have some funds to print out signage. Or,
And City of Green Bay is working on signage right now too. If I'm
Yeah.
So a little bit about the city of Green Bay. They are giving out pollinator kits this year. I think they're 200 kits, 15 plants each. And I think there's a signage that goes with that. They're also doing, as part of this pollinator corridor, some mapping. It started out, it was going to be a general map for public, that you could, if you owned a piece of property and you had native plants there or pollinator plants, which is kind of an interchangeable term. I like either native because pollinators go to things that aren't native. But anyway, so they've got that map. It started out that way, and then they've ran into some roadblocks with having citizens entering data and things like that. I know that De Pere has a lot of great maps. I mean, I can go and look up any tree in the city and find it, which is really cool. So I think there's a lot of opportunity there. I agree. Their map, what they do is they put a spot in the park, and then they've got circles, Emily sort of mentioned, around it that you can look at. Small bees fly how this far, larger bees fly like 500 feet, and then butterflies fly further than that. So you can sort of see how each of their parks now is connecting there. But they've had some struggles with how to, and part of it's just having the personnel to do a map that has every homeowner that wants to be on the map able to put their, and then as I was talking with Casey, the problem becomes if the next homeowner comes in and mows it all down and plants grass, how long does it stay on the map without someone checking it? I mean, for every thing you want to do, you can find a reason to not do it. So I would encourage as much mapping as you can. But
these are good points to bring out to maybe brainstorm. How do you do it differently, or are you okay with some of this stuff?
These 5 plans, are they already likely available at a lot of the local?
Not
Okay.
not at big box stores usually, but
Okay.
if you go somewhere that has native plants, you can find these.
Okay,
question posed by Commissioner Van Schindel, answered by Commissioner Henry Gillis.
thank you. Sorry.
Commissioner, go ahead, Commissioner Slavin.
Oh, I was just going to say I like the low barrier of entry. This feels very accessible to people, and I almost feel like we could build on it very quickly and do the mapping and everything else, but just getting this started would be, you just have to start doing it, and little to no cost. Yeah, I'm very excited about it, and I think tangibly, I think many of us on the commission are having these conversations with friends and family, and these names of stuff roll right off the tongue for us if we're familiar with them, but having them listed and having a catchy something that will make it much easier, I think, to share in a much easier way for everyone in the community. So I'm very excited for this idea.
Commissioner Lawton, you had emailed me. Did you want to go into your email?
Yes, I put in a pollinator garden a year ago, I guess, year and a half ago, and the fellow that helped me with it mentioned that one of the limitations of these 5 is that you don't have, it's only in the midsummer. It's not in the spring and the fall, and he made a couple of suggestions about extending that time because people like to see the color and the flowers both late and early. And I was amazed at how many butterflies and bees were using my garden in late September this year. It was obviously a an unusual year for extended the summer into what used to be the fall. But it was staggering, and the flowers were just brilliant towards the end of September. So we might contemplate that. I don't know how important that is. We should figure out whether that would be important to people.
I would say that that's definitely important. And as I developed this program, I really tried to hit on the key best.
Yes.
And I think I talked with Casey when I talked to him about it. The next step, you could do 5 more for flyers, which could be your asters or your fall blooming plants. And as you noted, the fall is the time you're going to see them more than anything else, because if you think about them, they've had all summer to procreate. So instead of when they first come out, especially like a bumblebee, it's only the queen that survives from the year before, and then she starts having babies and more babies and more babies, and by September, if you've got a late blooming plant, where I struggled with finding something, echinacea will bloom into September, the rattlesnake master to a degree, depending on the year. Sometimes butterfly weed reblooms, but yes, it does. It sort of starts in June, and echinacea would be the later one that's finishing up towards the end of August, depending on the year. Some of the fall bloomers are a little more rowdy. Asters tend to reseed fairly aggressively. A great plant is goldenrod. A lot of the goldenrods spread very quickly through rhizomes through the ground, so that one isn't, not to mention they have a really bad reputation, undeserved, because people say they're allergic to goldenrod and they're not. But I agree 100% that it's pretty hard to, I mean, anybody that's tried to put in a garden with 5 plants, it's hard to come down to 5. I mean, even in a window box, sometimes you're like, oh, I've got like 10 different species I want to put in there. So I'm certainly not sold on these are the ones. I would be willing to, or if you guys adopt it, there's opportunity. You could just call it 5 for flyers and have 7 or 8 plants, and we suggest you plant 5 of these.
Yep.
There's ways around exactly. I mean, I was at the botanical gardens, and they said there's no ornamental grass, which is a very important one for overwintering of insects and things like that. And it's like, but Mark was like, well, I understand the constraints you're trying to do if you're trying to do it fairly slim. One thing is, it's easy to identify the 5 and continue to monitor it. And the more you get, I find, even with the beautification committee, where we've got a lot of quote unquote gardeners, their knowledge isn't that broad. And then you send them out to do the weeding, and they're pulling out the things that you want. So.
Anything else for Evan? Then we'll have to make a motion to close public comment now.
Okay, can I have a motion to close public comment, please?
Motion to close.
All right, 7. Do I have a second?
Second.
Oh, Randall's on. All in favor of closing the meeting back up, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the meeting is now closed again. Do you want me to just talk about this?
All right, anything else on your end then, Alderperson Nelson?
No, the only thing I wanted to say was I still have the no mow May sign in our garage, and it's like so I think signage is really important, and I think it just gets people into it. But yeah, no, I think
Wild Ones has lots of great signs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We're supposed to return that sign. I didn't either, though.
Yeah, I like it. But the other thing, and then I was kind of just daydreaming too about like having a patch at Beer Garden and having, just kind of wander over there and see, so I think there's lots of kind of interesting things we could do off of this. So yeah, thank you, Evan, for bringing that idea forward.
So now we'll roll into the second half of this discussion with Commissioner Henry Gillis's Plan Natural Landscapes, Common Invasive Species Found in Your Landscapings.
So this is just a draft. Please don't.
What number are we on?
We're still on 11.
Oh, sorry.
So this is just a draft that I threw together really quick. Like, don't think it needs to look like this. But basically, I'm trying to bring awareness to the common things that people have at their houses that are invasive species and how they could replace them. So it just quickly explains what an invasive species is. 3 common ones that are in our landscaping, which are buckthorn, burning bush, and Japanese barberry. And then I just added 3 good natives that would be replacements. That's where this is at. I don't know what else to say about it.
I have all of those.
Yep. Most people do. As you walk around the neighborhood, you're like, oh my God, look at that one, look at that one.
Yeah, buckthorn is.
Yeah, but it bothers me a lot.
Would you consider with this maybe having some disposal tips for these? Because I think buckthorn, well, maybe, because that one does have berries, right? And you have to make sure
The birds are spreading it everywhere.
yeah, and you don't want to cut them down when there's berries because then you're just putting it elsewhere. So maybe just some quick hitters on that.
Okay.
Recommendations by Commissioner Leonard. Anybody else have comment?
No.
Are
Do we think it's a good idea?
Yes.
Yeah.
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 completely.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I'm just thinking
I think it's a really good idea.
All right.
yeah. Like, where are we thinking, like,
Farmers markets, social
Okay.
media, I don't know.
Social media,
Yeah.
that's like a
Same
really good
places.
education campaign,
Yeah.
and it would go in lockstep with the previous topics.
I think it's just easy, simple
Yeah.
things.
Yep.
Any type of education. You don't know this stuff, like, in your normal day-to-day
They're
unless
plants.
you do this.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to plant stuff or have somebody else plant stuff for them. So,
Would this be a huge ask to add a statement about like why they're invasive? Because we all have, I don't know, like juniper, that's like purposefully planted.
Those are the natives?
No,
On the
I'm
bottom?
sorry. Yeah. What is the one in the middle?
Burning bush or Japanese barberry?
The barberry.
Yeah, like that seems like that's purposefully put there.
Yep.
So maybe to have a statement say like, it looks great and you might think it's easily controllable, but what is it doing to is it crowding out other things?
why is it an invasive species?
Yeah,
you're
why?
saying?
Why?
What does
Yep.
that mean? Yeah.
Just to tell.
So isn't that right above or no?
It says, yeah, cause economic or environmental harm or harm to human health, like that.
I guess I'm at like buckthorn is like really spreadable, but are all these
Really
are they
spreadable,
spreading?
yes.
They're all so
Yep.
they're all is it okay. Yeah, then that's fine.
So okay.
Just like sell me on why I should remove it if I think it's pretty, basically. That might be like what people might want to see.
Because I said so.
Okay.
But yeah, that's why people buy it, right? Because they think
Yeah,
it
what is
looks.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I have it at my house. In the fall, you should see it. It's like bright red and yellow.
And the leaves are like kind of
I mean, it's changing, right? Like, so it's green like that in the
Yep.
summer, and then as it changes into the fall, it gets that really red, pretty color.
It's really pretty.
Yeah. I picked
do
good
wanna-
ones.
Yeah. I like it.
I would like to add that I had buckthorn in my yard, and my neighbor very promptly came over to tell me to remove it because her dog ate it, and it's pretty toxic to dogs too. So that's another good reason.
Selling point.
Yeah.
Thank
Yes.
you, Commissioner Panic. So next time we bring this item back, it probably will be an action item because we've spoken on so much.
Absolutely.
But I think we'll end our discussion now for item 11, and we'll get back on track with item number 3 with the discussion on Winter Salt Week. Commissioner Henry Gillis requested to discuss Winter Salt Week in 2026 with the commission. Winter Salt Week takes place January 26th through the 30th with the intent to raise awareness around salt pollution and the reduction solutions to help keep fresh water fresh.
I didn't know I was talking about this tonight.
You emailed me months ago. It was on last month,
Great.
and then I had to carry it forward.
Cool. So I guess the big thing is, I mean, we have a bunch of cups that got made. Betty had those made. So we need to figure out how to, I guess, do more education with that, I guess, social media. There's a lot of talks that happened during this week, so however we can promote those. Today there was actually a pre-Salt Week discussion that the city of De Pere was a part of, where we had a section where we talked about like what homeowners can do and then what like municipalities are doing to decrease salt in our freshwater systems. Because if you didn't know, 1 tablespoon of salt permanently pollutes the water, and it's not a pollutant we can get out, right? Like if you're trying to get salt back out of the water, it's extremely expensive. So any that gets in is just permanently making our water saltier. So I guess I just want us to somehow make this a big deal.
We will touch again on this with the Reid Street banner, I think, today.
Oh, okay, cool. So that's all. I guess, are there questions or anything?
So these cups, what are these cups exactly?
So there are cups you can pick up at the Public Works building, and they are like a small, like 12 ounce. Yeah, they're not very big. And they, yeah.
Oh, this big.
They're the amount of salt that you should be able to use like a 20-foot driveway. Like you should, that's like how much salt you should be using, because most people over salt. So it's a nice thing to have at your house to know that you're using enough salt.
Cool.
I'll bring the cups to the next meeting. We can all have one.
I have
The goal with what this week is, I think what you're saying is like education. We want to make sure we can highlight it and get the word out there.
Yes.
Correct? Okay.
Yes. But it's with us not having a meeting next month, and then it's January. So.
Yeah.
Right.
How many cups do we have?
A lot.
100 or 200. I forget how many she ordered.
Would
Good
we
deal.
want to give them out to like, I don't even know if like a Menards can take these. Could we just say like, put them at your registers when people are buying salt, give them one? I don't know if they can.
Maybe True Value.
Yeah, that would probably be a better option.
Anybody want to take the charge in reaching out to True Value?
I'll do it.
Commissioner Leonard, reach out to True Value. Any other discussion on Winter Salt Week?
I would like to bring up one thing. I don't know if it's important to people here, but I'm a part of another group that's actually doing a presentation on salt use for facilities specifically. So that might be something that people may or may not be interested in attending. Cool. Nope.
Your show.
Oh, okay. So I guess our next one is discussion on native landscaping around city stormwater detention ponds.
And this one is coming back from a question posed to me, I think, by you two, Commissioner Henry Gillis.
Oh,
and
good.
Commissioner Slavin, about how we're seeding around our stormwater ponds. So what I did is I pulled our special provision that we include with our projects when we build these stormwater detention ponds. What we specifically specify is the, oh goodness, mesic prairie plantings. And then page 2 on this item, and I'm going to scroll back up on the screen here. This item is rather long because I have the whole special provision attached. Just give me a moment.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the actual mix we specify with the mesic prairie, and then the next page starts our special provision with all the where to procure, how to install, how to maintain sort of details. So yeah, that's that in a nutshell, I guess.
See, I have 5 for flyers in there. I like this.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
So these are all required, or these are all options? Or
This is
what
the
are we
mix
looking
that
at?
we specified have planted around our ponds. We really stress not to mow around our ponds for
Okay.
a couple reasons. One, it's a nice natural buffer to keep children out of it.
Sure.
There is a level landing in our pond, so kids don't drown. It's a real gradual fall in, then it gets 5 feet deep. It keeps geese out of our ponds, so it gets
Yes,
rid
it
of that nuisance.
does.
And then if it's next to a park, it keeps like balls and things from rolling
Sure.
into the ponds too.
Okay.
Tied with the children, and it looks nice. Especially around the Fox River Trail, we had these planted before they all got mown,
Okay.
and it really was pretty for a minute there.
Those high school lawn cutters. Is that what it is?
What's that?
Is it high school students cutting lawn in the summer?
It may have been. It was self-inflicted. I can tell you that much.
Gotcha.
Be nice. Right?
I'm not pointing any names. Not naming names. I think it was actually streets, to be honest.
The
With
thing
the,
is, they'll come back. It's a native. These are
It should
native, so
come
they
back,
should-
yeah.
Yeah, we
Yes.
should. Yeah.
but yes, this is what we're putting around all our
Signage.
ponds.
Cool.
Great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks given by Commissioner Henry Gillis, accepted by Chase.
All right, so are we on to the next one, or we have questions about this? No? Okay. The next one's consideration and possible action on Reid Street banner initiative advertising.
So previously discussed in July and September, we wanted to bring back the Reid Street banners to help promote our initiatives. In her last hurrah before she left us, Betty created these 4 images for promoting the salt use.
Yeah, I was wrong. It's a teaspoon, not a tablespoon.
Yeah, so 1 teaspoon pollutes 5 gallons of water forever.
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 Can I ask about that? So I've been reading a lot about water and carbon cycles. Like that forever kind of drives me a little crazy because it's not really forever.
Yeah, it
'Cause
is.
Forever is a long time.
Yeah.
But the water cycles through. Like I mean, it's
Unless
gonna,
you isolate that water and make it all evaporate and leave the salt in there. Otherwise, I still don't think it pulls it all out. It goes up in the clouds. It's part of the cycle.
Okay. No, I just get like a little bit like focused on words, and I'm like, it's not really but
It's even in college we were taught that this was like
It's
a
forever.
chemical, and
it's just okay. No, I really like the science. I was just like every time I drive under that, I'm gonna be like, well, is it for? But
Put a little asterisk.
Yeah.
Like, essentially.
yeah.
Essentially.
Until the sun
I would argue
explodes.
if anybody reached out with questions about it, we would love to speak with them.
That's true. That's true. That's
so
very true.
I think it's great. So
And that QR code goes to the city website.
I would recommend not doing a QR code, especially on Reid Street.
Yeah, that's
we
very
need to get
dangerous.
our
Yeah, I would
phones
do
out.
there.
So we would do a website or something else.
Yeah,
Just
okay.
a specific link.
Cool.
And we'd have to create a page.
Yep.
Staff also has concerns about the full body images of the Grinch with copyright law.
Yep.
Even the
Yeah.
hand, I don't know if that's gonna be an issue. We'd probably have to touch base with legal. But this is kind of what we were thinking. We felt best about based off our discussions with the commission, with moving forward and buying a banner, especially with Salt Week coming up. I don't know how long it takes to procure them. Grace might know. Sorry to put you on the spot, Grace.
To get one of these giant
How to
banners.
make a banner? How long does it
I
take?
don't think it's that long, actually. To
Okay.
get it, no.
And then we'd have to schedule with Grace to have it installed.
The only problem that you have is, I believe, during the holidays, they have that holiday thing over Reid Street. So you might not be able to get it up during the holidays.
Well, we would want this in January, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We'd have to
I don't-
confirm schedule, but first we'd have to order
I
and
don't
then
know when those come down, and
even if it goes up in February, it'd be still heavy salt use.
Still snows, yeah.
It's still holiday theme. They wanna.
Right.
Well, let's look at that calendar and we'll wiggle our way.
So I'll come back with
sorry, Jay.
So not,
it's fine.
so okay, so we have to do 1 or 4.
So we'll have to narrow down what we want it to look like, and QR code's gone already. We're gonna put a URL instead. Yeah, which option you'd prefer, and then we'd go into the procurement phase.
If it doesn't work to do it in like December or January, do we want a different theme?
Probably.
Yeah.
And we can bring that back then in January if we're running into that hiccup.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, so we need to look at a date first, because that might change the design.
We'd have to order. Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean?
need
So
to-
like that would be our first thing, is to look
So-
at what that holiday time
This is
frame
dead.
is. No.
This design is.
Oh, maybe.
I'll have to come back with the dates for you all, and then we'll probably narrow down what initiative we want to then chase after, and then go through the
Be
process.
okay one in case there's a date open. I feel like.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Let's.
Yeah, I agree with
Okay.
that.
well, typically in the winter, there's no banners. The banners that are put up are by the health department, and they just flop them out every 3 weeks. So getting it up there into a schedule, I don't think would be a problem. However, that holiday thing, I believe there's a holiday thing over Reid Street. But I could be wrong about
So
that.
January.
I could be
You
totally
had
wrong.
the dates. So like the 3 weeks.
But Grinch and Pinch rhymes.
It does.
I don't
It's
think it has
nice.
to be.
I think it still works post Christmas, but I feel like I like maybe. I mean, I really like the hand of one. That's about it. Any other thoughts?
I think this is an action item. We can take a motion on what one we like the most if you want.
Okay.
Okay.
I make a motion for option 1.
I second.
Motion by Commissioner Leonard, second by Commissioner Slavin. Slavin? Which one is it?
Slavin.
Slavin.
It's fine.
Thank you. Sorry.
Okay. All in favor of going with banner option 1, please say aye.
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 Okay. All opposed? Okay. So motion with that.
With the elimination of the QR code.
Yes.
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 And with
Sorry.
legal okaying it.
And legal. Okay. There's
And,
yeah.
and a
And a
window
date.
to put it up.
Yep.
Yep.
All of those things.
It's gonna happen one of these days.
I'm super excited if this happens. So. Okay.
right.
So that's all we need for that?
Flying by the seat of our pants.
Yeah, we are. Okay, moving on. Number 6, discussion on sustainable educational series.
All right, so this was another item we wanted to bring back from last month's discussion. Betty had slowly
Yeah.
built this list of sustainable initiatives that we could hold educational series regarding. Our commission, if we wanted to move forward with an educational series, we'd have to first do the who's, what's, where's, when's, how much it's going to cost, promotion, answer a lot of questions. So yeah, this is just kickstarting that discussion. We have a bunch of topics here. We had a presentation about composting earlier today. I'll open it up to anybody at this point.
I think composting is one we should really do.
I agree.
Agree.
And I think-
Landscaping, I think, is one too with the planned natural landscape.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Can we partner with Malva and use their space?
I'm sure we can. I don't know what the rental fee would be, but
Okay.
Or there's the Nelson Pavilion,
yep.
which would be another good one. The library is always a good one. There's a new place. It's right next to Toast. It's like micro something. It's like a little building that you could rent.
Have we thought about tying these into anything else? I mean,
Our initiatives.
I mean,
Oh.
anything in the city, like any other, things in the city. I mean, I really love the idea. It's just, I think it's always about getting people out to these things. So,
Yeah.
I'm like, even at I don't know, farmer's market would be the best. But even,
We have a booth at the farmer's market.
but it's okay. Even like, have you guys done anything at beer gardens?
No, but we talked about it.
Okay.
So this was looked at as more formal than like a beer garden.
Yeah. It's kind of like that.
A sit down
Yep.
and present sort of thing.
Yeah. That'd be really cool. Like the Malva would be really cool.
Yeah, the
makes
lock-
it a more official
It
feeling.
does. And we have a partner. We've worked with them with our farmers market booth. So
Yeah.
there's a relationship there.
I think
cool.
the landscaping one would be really good at the little house at the Lock Tenders Garden, because you could have the talk and then you could bring people out into
See
it.
it real.
So that is a thing, because you can rent that little house. Okay. What other ideas do we think would fit our initiatives?
There's a lot here. So
There are a
Yeah,
lot.
and I just-
We can come back to it.
I mean, I really think bats are like, for not everybody, but for a lot of people, I think, more like learning about like this their importance and how decimated they've been lately.
Yes.
I think a lot of, it's interesting.
I
A lot
think
of
the
people
green roof would be really cool
I love the green.
to
do a
bring
field trip.
people to that.
It's hard to get people up there.
Is that,
hit it very
I
hard.
think it would be a sign-up
is
event.
that something that legal would allow? Is there a railing
Research?
around there now?
I could go up there right now.
Is there a railing?
There was not
there is
a railing
railing.
up
I
there.
think there is a railing now,
Yep.
so that might be allowed.
We can ask the question.
Okay, but we are interested in this.
I think we are. I think the key, like you said, it needs to be something that people are going to come to. So there either needs to be like a big marketing effort around it or like signups to know that people are actually going to show up. I don't know the right way to do it, but
I think sign-ups for sure. I think we could have the sign-ups at all the farmers markets that like work around. You know what I mean? Like if we have a farmers market and we have an event coming up, we make sure we have that.
Just putting the event on like events pages on Facebook.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we could just start with one and see what works and what doesn't.
Record, put on YouTube.
Oh yeah. Yep. I think recording them is important.
Yeah.
Have you worked with like definitely DePere at all and like promoting this stuff or?
Not as much on the promotion side, but we do work with them quite a bit.
Could do some cross promotions or something.
Yeah. Oh, the Malvo is an interesting one. I wonder if, I don't know if we would go as far as sponsoring an event series through them and maybe they do the work for us.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Just thinking out loud.
I love that
Yeah,
idea.
that's not a bad idea.
I do think something with the orchards is also.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I can come back with some venue info, kind of start fleshing out. Maybe we do just a quarterly with the
Yeah.
4 ideas.
That's great.
Yeah.
Get a skeleton going on this
I
thing.
think that's a good idea.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else on that? Thank you. All right. Next one is discussion on Sustainability Commission work plan.
So we're kind of in the meat and potatoes now of our agenda. Same thing we talk about every meeting now. So the work plan has been updated based off the last discussion with the clean energy, updating now we're working toward participating in the green tier legacy communities. And then I think I updated just other people volunteering to be commissioners that are spearheading some initiatives. But with that, is there any other discussions on our work plan?
Oh, I write on a lot of these.
All right.
Okay. So then let's move on to consideration and possible action on initiative prioritization, adopt a drain.
So with this one, we brought back the promotional items. We wanted to talk about that again last week. It wasn't an action item, and we tabled it for Commissioner Henry Gillis to come back. One thing that was awfully popular was the silicone bracelets as adopt a drain. Same with the signs again. So I copied and pasted what we'd previously included in past discussions for promotional items. We can leave this as a recommendation or action item for you guys if there's something you feel strongly on about moving forward with.
At the last meeting, we talked a lot about the tier recognition program, the referral program, and the annual recognition event. That we thought those might be. We wanted to find a way to incentivize people to actually clean the drains, not just sign their name up and not do anything.
Right.
But then also find a way to like recognize the people who are doing it.
Yep.
So there wasn't like a ton of additional discussion beyond the discussions we've already had, but.
Did someone win the rain barrel?
So the rain barrel we ordered got shipped to Florida on
cool.
accident to some random residents. We had to then reorder the rain barrel.
They kept it?
They canceled the order, and it got returned to a Home Depot in Florida, and then they canceled our order, so we had to reorder. And after I receive it later this week, we will then pick a winner.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, that's one thing that we're doing. I really like a recognition event. Bringing in a speaker would pair well with that. I don't like the bracelets. So sorry if you guys really loved those. I think they're stupid.
It stuck with me last week. I don't know why.
So
Maybe it's
sorry.
just me. I'm a
No. You have them on, and I'm so sorry that I just said
They
that.
look stupid. I understand.
I mean, where is this program at, like, sign-up wise?
I don't have the numbers. I want to say we're almost 30 inlets with maybe 8 to 12 adoptees at this point. And then I'm getting a fair amount of participation too. Those Girl Scout troop, they're going ham.
Sweet.
Well, they might love the bracelets.
They would.
Well, and Emily,
They
I
are
told
cool.
Chase earlier today, like I adopted two, but my neighborhood is newer. There are no trees. There is nothing in the drain. So like, I think too, there's still going to be some that there's not as much to do, but
Adopt a drain. It's the thought that counts.
I thought about this one a little bit, and you know how your work will sometimes say, "Oh, do you guys want to like adopt a highway and go clean it?" And you're like, "No, that's the last thing I want to like do with my work, people." But I would probably sign up to do an adopt a drain right outside of your place of
Business,
employment
yeah.
instead of this. And is there a way? And one of our metrics is to get businesses involved.
I'll happily walk around and talk to people. I literally have tried to get my chiropractor to do it, and he's just like, haha, and I'm like, no, you need to do it.
Do we, with our promotional stuff, would we have a little card that we could, as we just go to businesses, tell people, hey, instead of adopting a highway, can
Okay,
think
I
about
like
doing
that.
this with your employees as, I don't know, work relationship building or something. I don't know.
Somebody want to take a stab at creating a promotional card?
Gotcha.
I,
You want to do it? Go for
I
it.
do have a helium hand, but I'll do it.
Cool.
Commissioner Leonard will take a stab at it.
I mean, it just really has to be a QR code to the adopted drain site.
Yeah.
Okay.
That could be something we order, and we can bring that back next time for a formal action item.
Okay.
But we do still have the startup kits. They're out there. They're in our basement,
Good.
ready to go.
Cool. So nothing on this one.
Unless somebody feels strongly.
Not yet. January.
Sure.
I'll have time to think about this. Okay. All right, moving on, discussion on initiative prioritization composting.
So this is open to discuss any updates on the composting program. With our item today, I've included our updated compost subscriber numbers. Scroll down there. What I found is now that I'm in the third, fourth quarter, these numbers are awfully fluid. I'm getting a lot of people reaching back out for like the year-long subscription. So these numbers that I previously reported in January may have gone up since I last reported. So I'm actively updating these as I present them to you all. But right now we're down to like a steady 26 subscribers from, we started out with 62 at the end of last year. So our participation has been cut in half.
Plummeted.
Yep. And it's not really the W9s.
Anymore. It's just not participation.
Right.
Okay. So, I mean, I think the talk would be helpful because if people have stopped subscribing, hopefully they're still composting at home.
Right.
Yeah, that was what I've done a lot of research from last meeting to this meeting just on like what resources are out there. I'm not an expert on this, so just like what can I learn? What feels like an easy way for people to, I don't know, do anything, to put it simply. So I connected with someone from, it's AROW. I don't remember what it stands for, Association Recycling Something Waste of Wisconsin or something like that. Connected with, his name was Brandon Knutson. He works for Hilltopper Refuse. He's part of that Arrow group in La Crosse area. And he mentioned that they work really closely with Festival Foods. He specifically mentioned the La Crosse area that they compost all of their pre-consumer food waste. So I reached out to the person at Festival who lives in De Pere actually, works at the De Pere location, and he confirmed that all Festival Foods are composting their pre-consumer food waste. So I have a meeting set up with him next week, I think, to really just learn what they're doing, what their program looks like, in the hopes that like maybe there's something we could do to advertise or help or build up that other businesses could participate in. So just treating that more as a learning exercise so that if there's any ideas that spark from it, I'll bring it back to the group. And then I also connected with, his name is John Art from UWGB. I don't know exactly what his role is, but I was referred to him. He mentioned that he has had some conversations with people on the Sustainability Commission. So I didn't know if there was any previous conversations that were had that I wasn't a part of. But I know that they have a composter on site. And I just was wanting to learn more.
Yeah.
So no big updates or changes to the initiative work plan, just a lot of deep diving in the meantime.
I mean, kind of think about the impact if we can, 10 homeowners, or if you can, a couple of restaurants, figure out what they're doing with their, and
Yeah.
they can do it in a more environmentally friendly. I mean, could be a big impact on, like going after the businesses is kind of interesting, with the last one too, with the drains. I think it's, we can have an impact on the city, but we can also have a big impact on businesses too.
Yeah. Well, what I thought is if there's already a program that they're doing and it works, why try to reinvent
Yeah,
something? If there's a
totally.
way we can
Latch
help
on.
educate or
Yeah.
support, right? Like
Yeah,
just it's minimal effort then, but hopefully big impact.
Yep.
So we'll see what comes of it.
Cool.
So festivals already sending their stuff to a certain place?
I don't know what they do with it, but they are composting it. So that's what I'm hoping to learn more about.
Okay, cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, if it's like
I know in La Crosse, I think they partner with this Hilltopper Refuse, which is a waste facility or something like that in the La Crosse area. I don't know what they're doing at other locations.
Okay, anything else on this? Thank you very much. Okay. The next one is discussion on initiative prioritization, clean air initiative.
Another opportunity for the commission to provide any updates on the clean air. I got nothing new on my end of things.
I make sure to drive my car with my bumper sticker to the school every day. I park it there while I'm on the playground.
I think twice before leaving my car on, walking into a store really quick. So
We're making an impact.
we're trying.
Yeah, I don't have any updates on this one.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're skipping item 11 now and going to item 12.
All right. Discussion on initiative prioritization, green energy.
Again, the last update we had was the Green Tier initiative, or Green Tier legacy communities that the city's going to be working towards participating with. Outside of that, there are no new updates on our end of things.
I can give some more research update. I'm really excited about this, but so when I initially kind of was looking at the baseline, creating a baseline, I think I was making a mountain out of, not a molehill, but given that Green Tier needs us to report energy usage, and this might have been something that Green Tier started doing after we made our energy work plan, maybe the data wasn't as readily available at the time, which it sounds like, Chase, that it's going to be.
We're working toward it.
Yeah. So I pieced through, again, Green Bay's work plan, because we kind of largely made our work plan off of what they did. And how they came up with a baseline, it's not rocket science. They went to, they used an EPA tool, which looked at the energy resource mix at a region level. And when I say region, I'm not talking Northeast Wisconsin. They looked at Wisconsin, it's like a region incorporating Illinois and Iowa. That's not very precise data. And WPS, even just if you look online, has a more specific energy resource mix that we could go off of. So if we can get WEC energy data, we can very easily kind of recreate that baseline without maybe doing that RFP process. And then I went a step further. And a while ago, I had looked at other energy reports from different cities in Wisconsin and just tried to do a compare contrast. And Eau Claire, they used a tool called the ICILEI tool. And it's a yearly reporting tool or program that for municipalities of our size is really affordable and gives us a ton of hours of support, like tech support, because once we get all this data, how do we then make a clean energy plan and assess possible recommendations? And this tool might actually do it. So that's kind of where my research got us, that there's a potential for us to do this a lot more economically than previously thought. So I think the action on my part would be to get maybe a presentation or a PowerPoint or something that really says what this tool is, how can we use it, and maybe it's useful for Green Tier as well as this initiative. So that's my updates.
Thank you, Commissioner Leonard. And then on the staff level, I don't think we're going to go the RFP route for this. It's just
Yeah.
internal time.
So-
And we are reaching out to groups like Wello for help on this too, to help fill in the blanks.
Okay. So maybe on top of that, maybe other initiatives we've kind of developed a history. That might be something good to do here for the commission and yeah, maybe for the next meeting.
I'll try taking a better dive and isolating specific items that maybe we can work on as a commission.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Anything else on that? Thank you very much. Last one, consideration and possible action on canceling the December 9th, 2025 Sustainability Commission meeting.
So in the past, we've canceled December just due to holiday schedules. Everybody's busier. On the staff side of things, it'll give us a chance to get Natalie Merkel's up to speed to start in 2026. Grace will most likely still be doing recording duties for that first meeting, but then we'll have Natalie sit in, get to know all you, and then hopefully take over from there. So yeah, just leaving it out there if the commission wants to have a meeting in December or not.
I cannot join the meeting whether we have it or not, so.
Okay.
So is that a motion to cancel our December meeting from Commissioner Van Schindel?
Not yet.
Okay.
I think it is, though.
Okay, I'm trying to read the room here.
I mean, I have nothing going on, and I love being here, but we can take December off.
I'll make a motion to cancel the
All
December
right,
meeting.
thank you. Do I have a second for that motion?
I'll second it.
Okay.
Motion by Alderperson Nelson, second by Commissioner Panic.
All in favor of canceling the December 2025 commission meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. So then we have future agenda items. Do we have any, or are we cool with what we currently have going on?
I'm good for now.
Okay. All right. So now I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right.
Motion to adjourn by Carmen Van Schindel and second by Commissioner Slavin.
All in favor of adjourning tonight's meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, we are done for the night. Thank you all.
Thank you.